If you've ever walked onto a cruise ship and thought, why is this so stressful already? Isn't this supposed to be relaxing? You're not imagining it. In 2026, this feeling is more common than ever because ships are fuller, systems are quieter, and small mistakes on day one now affect your entire week. So if you want to avoid wasting time, money, or energy, you need to understand how cruises actually work behind the scenes before the ship ever leaves port. I've researched this like crazy and found 9 tips most cruisers never hear about, so stick around to the end because these can save your whole vacation. 9. Your cruise price is decided before you click book. Before you ever step on board, the cruise line has already sized you up as a buyer. Cruise pricing is never fixed and never was. It moves constantly based on demand, how close the sailing date is, which cabin categories are selling slowly, and even where you are booking from. That is why the same cruise can show 3 different prices in a single week. The low base fare is only the hook. Gratuities, Wi-Fi, drink packages, specialty dining, shore excursions, photos, and upgrades quietly pile on until the bargain looks very different. Countdown clocks and only 2 cabins left warnings are designed to create urgency, not savings. The cruise line does not need you to find the best deal. It only needs you to feel like you did, so you click book and arrive ready to spend every day on board. This is why experienced cruisers never judge a cruise by the headline price alone. They calculate the full cost before committing. When you do this, you stop feeling tricked later and start feeling in control. Pricing logic shapes expectations, spending offers, and even how the ship views you. Understand this early, and the rest of the cruise makes sense now. 8. Help on board is quietly prioritized by status and clarity. When 2 guests have a problem, one often gets help immediately while the other stands waiting, and it never feels fair. This isn't random at all. Safety issues, medical concerns, and anything involving children always jump the line first. After that, priority shifts based on loyalty status, cabin type, and how clearly the issue is explained. Higher-tier guests and suite passengers often have shorter lines or access to dedicated staff who handle issues faster, but clarity matters just as much as status.
Emotional complaints like "my cruise is ruined" are hard to act on, while specific details such as cabin number, exact time, and what you already tried are easier for the crew to log and fix. Calm, clear guests get faster results because their issues become simple tasks, not mysteries. Asking for a reference number or follow-up check keeps your problem from quietly slipping down the list. You can't change the ship's system, but you can work with it by being direct, calm, and prepared. Once you do, problems feel smaller, help comes sooner, and the entire cruise feels less stressful. This mindset shift alone can change your whole experience on board. The ship has a noise map you never get to see. When you choose a cabin, you only see pretty photos and a simple deck map, but the cruise line sees something far more important: years of noise complaints. They know exactly which rooms sit under busy pools where chairs scrape early every morning, which cabins are above theaters where the bass thumps late into the night, and which hallways connect to crew areas where carts roll during cleaning shifts. 2 cabins in the same category can feel like 2 completely different experiences. One might be peaceful and easy to sleep in, while the other never fully quiets down no matter what you do. This is why experienced cruisers always check what is above and below their room, instead of focusing only on the view. Cabins surrounded by other cabins are usually the safest and quietest. Anything located under buffets, gyms, pools, or nightclubs is a major gamble. The cruise line will never label these cabins as noisy because they still need to sell them. But once you understand this hidden noise map, you stop booking based on pictures alone and start booking based on sleep. And better sleep makes every day on board feel smoother. Stay with me, because the next secret shows how the ship predicts your spending. 6. You are profiled as a spender before you even sail. Long before you arrive at the terminal, the cruise line has already built a quiet profile of how likely you are to spend. Your cabin category, how early you booked, your travel dates, and any add-ons you selected all shape that profile. Guests who book suites, purchase Wi-Fi, or add premium drink packages are flagged as higher value travelers. That is why they get more invitations, tastings, sales tours, and VIP-only events. Once you step on board and start using your cruise card, the profile updates in real time. Every purchase, shopping, photos, casino play, spa bookings, tells the system what you enjoy and how often you say yes. These invitations you receive throughout the cruise are not personal rewards. They are targeted ads designed specifically for your behavior. Knowing this removes pressure because you stop feeling obligated every time someone says, "exclusive offer just for you." Smart cruisers decide their spending before the ship decides it for them. Pick what actually matters to you and ignore everything else. This mindset alone saves money and makes the cruise feel calmer. Once you understand how the ship predicts your spending, the rest of the onboard experience suddenly makes a lot more sense. 5. Boarding too early ruins your first day. Cruise lines constantly push early boarding, but for most guests, it creates the most stressful part of the entire trip. Late morning is peak chaos because departing passengers, eager early arrivals, big family groups, strollers, suitcases, and long security lines all crash together at the same time. Cabins are still being cleaned, corridors are roped off, and you end up stuck dragging your bags through crowded public spaces like the buffet and pool deck. Early boarding does not get you a better cabin, a better spot, or a faster sail away. It only gives you more time standing shoulder to shoulder with hundreds of other early birds who feel just as tired. Cruise lines encourage this rush because the earlier you board, the earlier you start spending money on food, drinks, shops, upgrades, and packages. But around 1 p.m., everything shifts. Cabins finally open, crowds disappear, security lines shrink, and the whole atmosphere becomes calm instead of frantic. This is when experienced cruisers quietly stroll in, walk straight to their room, drop their bags, and actually start relaxing. Beginning your cruise in a peaceful state instead of a stressful one sets the tone for your entire week and makes the whole trip feel better from the start. If this is already saving you stress, hit like and subscribe now, because everything after boarding is designed to quietly guide your spending unless you know what to ignore. 4. The daily schedule is designed to push paid activities. The daily schedule might look harmless, but it is carefully designed to guide your attention toward things that make the cruise line money. Prime daytime slots are often filled with revenue-focused events like art auctions, spa tours, shopping talks, casino lessons, and jewelry showcases. These activities are placed when most people are free, so attendance feels natural. Meanwhile, many of the genuinely free activities, such as trivia, small crafts, dance classes, lectures, or quiet live music, are often tucked into awkward times when fewer guests notice. On sea days, the schedule usually includes long, slow periods where bars, shops, and casinos are open, while very little else is happening, which nudges bored guests into spending. The theme of the schedule also rotates by day. Early in the cruise focuses on drink packages and spa deals. The middle of the cruise highlights shopping and jewelry sales. The final days push heavy discounts on photos, souvenirs, and last chance offers. The goal is not to give you balanced variety. The real goal is controlling when and where your attention goes. The solution is simple. Decide ahead of time what you genuinely want to do and treat every today-only pitch as an optional offer, not a responsibility. Guaranteed cabins benefit the cruise line, not you. Guaranteed cabins sound like a clever way to save money, but the real advantage goes to the cruise line, not the guest. When you book a guarantee, you choose the cabin type but give up all control over the actual location. That freedom allows the cruise line to place you anywhere within that category, including rooms they struggle to sell. These cabins might sit under noisy pool decks, near crew work areas, beside service corridors, or in high-motion spots at the front or back of the ship. They fill these rooms last, and guarantee bookings are the perfect way to plug those gaps. Real upgrades do happen, but they usually follow business logic, not luck. Loyal guests, casino players, and high onboard spenders are the first to be moved up because it helps the ship manage inventory and reward profitable behavior. Walking up to the desk and asking for a free upgrade rarely changes anything unless the sailing is extremely empty. The smartest approach is simple. Pick a cabin you will genuinely enjoy and treat any unexpected upgrade as a pleasant surprise, not something you are owed. This mindset protects you from disappointment and helps you start your cruise with realistic expectations. Guest behavior is quietly tracked behind the scenes. Most guests never realize it, but cruise ships keep small internal notes to help crews deliver consistent service across rotating teams. These notes aren't gossip or punishment. They're quick reminders that help staff understand who they're dealing with during a busy week. Polite, clear, and patient guests are usually remembered in a positive way because they make the crew's job easier, and that good energy often leads to smoother interactions later. Guests who are aggressive, demanding, or repeatedly upset are still taken care of, but crew members naturally become more cautious and document more details to protect themselves and to keep future staff informed. Positive details matter too. If you mention an anniversary, birthday, or special moment, that note may lead to a small surprise, extra friendliness, or closer attention from staff.
On a ship where you see the same faces every day, behavior builds a pattern quickly. The attitude you show on day one does not stay on day one. It follows you throughout the entire cruise. You can't see these notes, and you cannot control everything written, but you can shape the overall tone by being clear, respectful, and appreciative. A little kindness truly travels far on board. One survey score can change a crew member's career. Most guests think the post-cruise survey is just a formality, but for the crew, it can shape their entire future with the company. Cruise lines often treat only the very top scores as true success, which means even an 8 out of 10, something many guests believe is a fair positive rating, can be counted as a failure behind the scenes. These numbers affect contract renewals, bonuses, promotions, and whether a crew member gets assigned to better ships or better roles. That is why cruise staff encourage guests to report problems during the sailing instead of waiting until the survey arrives. If something goes wrong, telling guest services early gives them a real chance to fix it before it becomes a negative mark later.
And when someone truly helps you, mentioning their name in the survey matters far more than people realize. Specific praise stands out because thousands of guests pass through each ship every week and names easily get lost. Honest feedback is always important for improving the overall experience, but thoughtful scoring protects the hard-working people who supported you all week. A single rating can feel small to you, but huge to them, so filling out the survey carefully truly makes a difference. Once you understand how cruises really work, you stop reacting and start choosing, and that's when cruising finally feels relaxing instead of quietly stressful. Click any of these videos on your screen, and I'll see you in a moment.